Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
All right, welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast for Friday. Hello, everybody.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Now, let's see, this weekend should be nice. Do you like the warmer weather? You guys like the chill a little bit more, right?
I like the chill. Yesterday, I got to be honest, I had a little bit of butt sweat in the afternoon, and it was making me angry.
Really? Because I went out, I took a walk around 4:30. It was gorgeous out. I thought it was fucking beautiful.
I don't know. Right around 3 o'clock, I was in my car, and I was like, ugh. What's that damp feeling? Oh, it's butt sweat. It's returned.
Yeah.
I had to turn on my air-conditioned seats in my car from off lease only.
Me and Denny's, we noted how gorgeous it was. Maybe shit's different in Tequesta, dog.
Yeah.
I was driving to Boca. That could have been it.
You are pissed is what you are. You're angry.
I hate that traffic. I can't believe that, Kevin, you do that every day.
Well, again, you hit it on. That may be the worst day I've ever had going to Boca, and I've been doing it every day for a while now. So
Boca.
You picked the absolute worst day to do it. I don't know what happened. It was just a little bit south of Boynton, a little bit north of Del Rey. There must have been some accident. And as I was traveling southbound, I was like, okay, note to self, you're taking US 1 home.
Messy.
It took me an hour and 10 minutes to get home, and it was a solid red line if you look on that little Google app. But, I was looking on that. If you guys ever drive with that, I do that a lot because, one, I might just like space out and drive the wrong way sometimes. But the other thing, too, is if you put in your destination on the Google Maps that you have on your phone, it'll tell you the quickest route to get someplace. And then sometimes it might jump up and say, hey, it'll send you another way because you don't realize that there's a massive accident on I-95 or something else like that, a way that you normally go. And then by plugging it in, it makes you aware. So
I started using the Waze app. Do you know what that is? WAZE?
Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah. But the thing about the Waze that I love is you can change the voice that is talking to you.
Okay.
And there's a voice on there that is like a dialect of New Orleans dialect, but it's like a guy that's from the lower Ninth Ward, and he talks like this: hook a left. Make a right. Even when the Waze app like sees like police doing a speed trap up ahead, my app will come on and go, "The popo's ahead. Slow down, y'all."
You love it.
I love it. I giggle.
The thing that I was wondering about a lot of these apps, and this is what I was thinking yesterday when I was doing the Google Maps thing, is when I was going by the accident, I hit on it to see what it was. And if you wanted, you could say either like it's still there or cleared. I can't remember. It was two options, but I remember one of them was cleared. And I was thinking if somebody wanted to be an a-hole, they could go through and hit cleared, and then they're sending out to everybody else bad information.
Totally.
And so, yeah, I was just wondering if that's how they figure that out, that people don't put up bad information.
That's how they figure out on Waze and all of them, is by people reporting things.
Yeah.
But I have mine on, you can put it on a mode where you're like invisible mode. And when you put yourself on invisible mode, you can't report on stuff going on the road.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the idea of anybody else in their car knowing where I am in my car on my app. I don't like that.
Well, my thought is, what if you have one of those, I just want to see the world burn kind of thing? Like, oh, this would be funny. I'm just going to report a bunch of accidents that haven't happened, or I'm going to say accidents are cleared that haven't.
Totally. You could totally do that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if they have something in the app that fixes that, but
I don't think they do. I think a lot of them rely on motorists reporting, because how could they ever have boots on the ground?
Yeah,
in every
right.
area. It would just be impossible.
Yeah, maybe they do it by the number. So maybe if you have one jackhole, but then you have 10 people that are being legit, then they're like, okay, ignore that one.
The odds of 10 separate jackholes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, today, if you missed the regular show, you missed a great learning moment. I think most of us had this wrong, but Denny's had it right. Orangutan is actually orangutan.
It's crazy.
There is no G on orangutan. And so many people were like, oh my gosh, I've gone how many years and I didn't know that? But I'd seen somebody that said, I've gone 51 years and didn't know it was orangutan. But if you're around that age, I think this explains it. Chad said, I've always called it orangutan because of the old Tang commercials with the monkey in it.
Huh.
And maybe that's what it is, where Tang changed a whole generation of kids saying it by the wrong name. So if you're a Gen Xer, maybe you call it orangutan because they ran a Tang commercial where they put a G on orangutan.
Fuck, I loved Tang. Oh,
Yeah.
did I love that astronaut drink. You can make your own. You would put a shit ton scoops of that orange powder.
Yeah.
And we made our Tang very tangy.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Loved it.
I thought it was too powdery. I didn't like it.
Loved it.
Okay.
It would never completely mix for me. And I would always have like some powder that just gets stuck in your throat.
Well, you have to mix the powder with water.
I'm a little impatient.
Well, you just put it in your mouth.
No. I would put it in water, but then I guess I would miss like a pocket of it.
I mean, that is some 1982 bullshit right there.
Yeah, I was kind of a deprived kid to many extents. I always had food envy because I would go to other kids' houses and their moms would buy them all the soda and all that kind of fun stuff and Tang. My mom would never buy the Tang.
We had Kool-Aid. That was what
Yeah,
we
we
had.
did that, but-
we had Kool-Aid by the buttload.
We'd have Kool-Aid, we'd have Tang, but then when my mom and aunt, it was always a big deal when they'd go on a diet. If they went on a diet, everything got shut down. No snacks were in. Crystal Light was in there. So if you saw Crystal Light in the fridge as a kid, you go, oh, fuck, mom and aunt on a diet?
Crystal Light, now with extra aspartame, because back in the day, it did have extra aspartame. And then they were like, oh, wait, aspartame causes cancer.
I'm not sure anything was good for you that you ingested back in the 80s.
They made a lot of bad stuff.
A lot of bad stuff. I think that was the beginning of like food additives and crap.
Yeah, I think it was.
And it was a goofy decade. They were doing big, bold goofiness even in the food.
And we bought into it. Because who would have imagined they were poisoning us for their own profit?
Did they do Tab? They like Tab?
Oh, gosh, yeah. We always had some bullshit tab around.
Ugh, we never had that.
But again, that was when they were trying to watch their weight.
It tasted so bad.
My mom got in trouble at one of those. I won't say the name of the diet center she went to, but they were trying to gross her out by saying, just so you know, chocolate. There's rats that go in chocolate, all that. And my mom said, well, as long as they don't leave a footprint, I'll be fine. And the woman got all pissed off at her and told her to leave.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
that woman loved her chocolate.
Oh, she did.
You weren't taking that chocolate.
No.
Another thing we learned as well, some interesting science stuff on the show, and we were talking about how they plan on taking the International Space Station and driving it right into the South Pacific. And I guess they've done this before. Joey sent an email and said, yeah, Skylab was the first United States space station launched by NASA, occupied for about 24 weeks between May of 1973 and February 1974. It was operated by three astronaut crews, Skylab 2, 3, 4, and it was the launch date. So I guess there's already another space station they've driven into the ocean.
There's a graveyard that exists. How far down is it? Can anybody go and scuba dive it?
I would imagine it goes to the bottom, and maybe they've picked that part of the South Pacific for its depths so that it wouldn't be a factor. See, I guess you could really, bury something. That's where you want to take it. So
Yeah, I mean, if you drop it in the middle of the South Pacific and you make sure it's weighted down properly, nobody's ever going to find it if it's too deep for humans to go.
yeah, it's fascinating just, how many things you can make disappear in water. We were talking about that grandpa and his 11-year-old kid or grandson, and they had done that magnet fishing in that canal in
Yes.
Miami, and they pulled out was like
Bunch of
250.
guns.
Yeah, I think like 250 caliber guns. Somebody texted in later and said, yeah, I guess the serial numbers were filed off of, which is what you do if you're going to be using it for murder.
Since I was a
something
kid,
illegal.
I've always wanted to drain the ocean or just big bodies of water just to see all the shit that's down there. Not animal life, the shit people just dump.
There's guys on TikTok right now that are really doing a fun, cool series of they're going and they're looking for missing people, but they're looking in lakes and canals.
I think I've told you about this
and
before.
waterways. It's now a big thing on TikTok.
Is it called Adventures with People?
I don't know what it's called.
Because
But there's like experts. They
Yes.
use sonar.
Yes,
they send down divers, and then they have the family standing there on the banks of whatever waterway it is when they go and they extract the cars.
I'm almost certain it's Adventures with People, and I'm obsessed with it because they have a channel on YouTube, and it might not be. I think there's a few of them out there, but they're solving these cases.
They are solving.
10, 20, 30 years old.
Exactly.
And some of them are murders. Some of them are just they went missing and they don't know what happened, but they think it was in a lake.
Well, you might have made a left instead of a right, and oh shit, now I'm in a lake. I mean,
Yeah.
it could happen.
It's pretty. It's an emotional kind of a show because you're right. The family's right there.
Yeah, he gets the family right there on the riverbank, and then he has like the local sheriff's department there, and they're working and helping, and he's like, well, I can send my divers or you can send your divers, and they dive down and they report back to the family like, okay, all the windows are intact. It's the same make and model. It's got the same license plate, and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is so compelling.
Yeah, I misspoke. It's Adventures with a Purpose is the name of the series.
Okay.
Somebody in the chat room said, yeah, I used to work on the Miami Canal where the military used to deploy old World War II vehicles and ammunition, and we would fish out the old bombs and take them to a secure location and detonate them safely.
Wow.
That's crazy.
You have to transport a bomb? Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Talk about butt sweat.
That was just, I guess, for fun. That's what they did for kicks. It's kind of crazy.
That Adventures with Purpose, I just Googled, they found a body yesterday.
They did.
Yeah.
Really?
They uploaded
Wow.
a video yesterday with a body being found.
Was it the chick with the blue car?
I don't know. It's her name was Margaret Jan Shoop Smith.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, they've had that here in South Florida. If they really had people truly going through these canals and trying to find stuff.
You're right.
I mean, I can only imagine what they're going to pull out.
They've found cars using Google Earth.
Yeah,
Because they'll be
right.
like looking at a lake going, holy crap, is that a car?
They found a dude that was gone. He was cold case from the 90s.
Yeah.
They found, I believe out in Wellington or Delray.
Yeah, it was here local.
Yes.
We need to be looking in every lake. Because think about how many missing people we've got. If it could just solve 2 or 3 of them, that would be amazing.
And a lot of times, from what I understand, the local precincts sometimes don't have the manpower to be able to do it. They don't have the time. They don't have the staff.
They
so
need
that's why
a
they
group.
go in there.
Yeah, they need a group like these adventure guys that find it, and then the guys call in the cops, and then the cops show up because you did all the legwork.
Yeah.
But I bet it's hours and hours of legwork before
is.
they call the cops.
An email here from Doug about the Super Bowl, which is going to be going down next weekend. Said, I heard you guys talking about the price of the Super Bowl tickets. I think it's the most expensive to date for Super Bowl tickets.
Well, it's L.A., baby.
Some of them going for as much as $40,000, depending upon where you're going to be sitting. And he said, yeah, when Super Bowl III was in Miami, it was where the Jets beat the Colts. A friend of my dad was going to drive us to the game, and you could get tickets for $25.
What?
And they're on the 30-yard line.
Shut up.
Guy backed out and didn't actually wind up driving us, so we didn't get to go. But yeah, could you imagine getting a Super Bowl ticket for $25 and you sat on the 30-yard line?
No.
No, it's crazy. Yeah, everything is going up in price. He said one time, too, the last time they had a Super Bowl in Dallas, Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, set up 4 large screen TVs and charged people $1,000 just to stand there to watch the game, and they sold out. Who would pay for that?
Outside
Yeah.
of the arena?
Yeah, they
Damn.
do have that area there. I've been to a game at AT&T Stadium, and they've got outside of the stadium itself, they've got a couple stages, and they've got kind of a bar area and big flat screen TVs, and so they entertain. People will go and tailgate there, and it's really smart because it's a really good setup and it's a big party and they can make money because they have bars open and they charge you for the alcohol. So they'd rather have you there giving them your money rather than sitting at your car drinking the booze that you brought yourself.
Interesting.
You drinking tomorrow for Rocco's concert?
I don't know. It's so early.
You gotta pace yourself. I mean, does the concert start at 11 or 10?
Well, I have to get there with him at 10, and then it starts at 11.
I'm so glad you told me that.
I'm sorry. I said it wrong, and then I realized, oh, crap, I got to say it right.
I want to see the show. Not sure I want to see the sound check.
Yes. Yes. I have to get there early for the sound check. So it's 11 at Swampgrass.
Sound checks are the worst thing about playing music out in public. It's always nerve-wracking. Usually there's a sound guy or a woman that doesn't want to be there and that's all pissed off. Fuck
They hate you.
They do.
They hate their life.
It's never a fun experience.
They're always
usually
disgruntled.
They're going through some kind of marital drama.
Oh yeah, they're chain smoking angrily in the corner. Fuck this shit.
It's true.
It's so I cannot tell you how many disgruntled sound checks I've been a part of in my life.
So many.
So does sound work, does that attract people that are already disgruntled, or does sound work make you disgruntled?
I think it's a combination of both. I think a lot of time, look, musicians can be dicky, first of all.
Sure.
And I think but it's a two-way street there.
But I've been very kind to sound guys that have still been a total dick to me.
Me too. And you don't. They're bringing in a lot of baggage of old shit.
They can't wipe the slate clean and start fresh each day. They cannot. They cannot. And the ciggy smoking, it's amazing. The chain smoking they do.
Well, that's when you know you are fucked as a musician because they're over there angrily chain smoking, just burning every cigarette down. Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. There's going to be some feedback, boys.
And it's going to be the band's fault. I love the sound guy that yells at the band. Like, dude, you are the problem. You are the one that's supposed to be equalizing this shit. But they will yell at the band.
I had a sound guy one time. He left the bar. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry. He was talking to some chick. Like, dude, we need your fucking help, man.
It's outrageous.
Well, if you're going to be doing any binge watching this weekend, Antonia sent an email, said, just to let you know, Sling TV, you were talking about the prices earlier today. It sucks, doesn't have great channels. Fubo TV is way better and has all the channels for $60.
I mean, all these networks are whatever this shit is. I've never heard of any of this.
Fubo sounds like it's the same price as cable, so just don't cut the cord.
It's all so confusing, everything that's out there, and, what is the right way to go? And somebody else texted in, they're from Tequesta, and they said, yeah, so what I do, we set up your whole system, so you can get every channel for just $20 a month. Something like that.
It's a trap.
Yeah. So,
if it's that easy, it's not that good.
But, hey, I mean, I'm all about breaking the law.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You're just wondering what the heck is going on.
It is weird. There are certain crimes out there. You're like, yeah, I'm okay with that one.
This ain't the worst thing I do. Come on. Hook it up. Hook it up.
Well, it's like if, for example, I've downloaded Billy Joel's Summer Highland Falls a billion times. I've gotten different devices, so you have to constantly download it. I've downloaded enough to where I paid for that fucking song.
You have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You deserve a concert in your living room with Billy singing it to you.
How many times do I have to download this fucking song?
And I just saw two that, probably spent some time binge watching this weekend. I'm on season 4 of Yellowstone and Paramount Network. Like I said, if you want season 4, you got to go to Paramount Network because Peacock's only got the first 3 for
Not
whatever
to be
reason.
confused with Paramount Plus, which is different.
Hey, you're right. That's
What?
the app. I know. It's so crazy.
And then the Paramount Network is not real. I'm just fucking everything up.
But they say that Yellowstone has been greenlit for a season 5 already.
Oh.
And I was looking at the numbers. When I looked last week, they were talking about Yellowstone would get about 5 million viewers an episode. I guess the 4th-season premiere was watched by 14 million.
Wow.
And the finale had 15 million.
Wow.
So it's a pretty big show.
Look at you, trendy Kev.
Well, I'm not. I'm jumping on the trends. I'm not setting trends. I just follow them, yeah.
You're on it before any of us.
Well, I want to know because, when it's kind of what we do, and something gets so big and everybody's talking about it, I want to have some references to it. And it is a solid show. It is. Like my wife, though, I can't get her to watch it. She's like going, I hate Westerns. And I'm like, it's not really a Western.
Is it a Western?
I'm like, they're.
I'm with your wife.
I was trying to convince her. I'm like, okay, they're cowboys on a ranch in Montana. She's like, that's a Western. I'm like, what?
She's right.
I'm like, well, she's like, do they have guns? I'm like, yeah, they have guns. She's like, it's a Western. I'm like, no. I'm like, it's
Are
not.
there cowboys? Yeah, there's cowboys.
Are they on horses? I'm like, yeah.
Is it set in modern day?
Yes, that's where I'm like.
All right.
But she's like, they have modern day Westerns too. I'm like, yeah, but still, it's not.
It's a modern day Western, Kevin.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Which is known as the shittiest of all West. No.
So at the end of it, I just walked away. I'm like, you're right. She doesn't do Westerns, so she's not watching.
Westerns, it's a weird genre. I love a good Western. I like a revenge Western.
No.
You didn't like Young Guns?
I never saw Young Guns.
What the shit?
But I do like Young Guns on a young guy.
Okay.
All right, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
All right. I guess Mama's horny.
Apparently so. Look out, Panda. They say season 5 will shoot in May, so they are bringing that back. But I was thinking about these shows that they have now, as we were talking earlier about how much you pay for each platform, and somebody had made the comment, I think about Apple TV, they're like, they don't have any content on there. I mean, I do watch a couple shows. They have the morning show, and I can't remember. There's something else that I was watching on Apple TV. I can't keep it all straight, but think about these shows. When you used to have a show debut on one of the networks, this is going way back when they just had those 4 main networks. Remember how many shows would come on and they would cancel them?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, that's not working. Every single season, they would have all these new shows. Probably, I would say about half of them would get canceled within a season or two. But think about the shows they make now. These shows are reliant on propping up a whole platform. And if they tank, your platform's going to tank. I thought, wow, the pressure now of making a show, if you're Kevin Costner, because what else does Paramount Network have?
Right.
I don't know. But they need a show to get people to talk about Paramount Network. And if Yellowstone would have tanked, what would have happened to Paramount Network?
Well, thank goodness Yellowstone is doing the opposite of tanking.
But yeah, I'm just wondering how many platforms we're going to see that they're going to launch, because they go all in, spend all this money on a show, and they're like, you know what, guys, the show sucks. And if you don't get 14 to 15 million viewers, then what's going to happen to you? So I don't know. Well, I got an email here from Andrea. She said, I know you guys will talk about panhandling a good bit on the show, and I saw this in Fort Lauderdale off of Federal Highway. Do love the honesty. Don't know if you can see this guy, but he's sitting on a bus bench, and his sign that he has says, my wife had a better attorney. So, there you go. She obviously got the house, and he's got a bus bench.
It's pretty depressing.
That's so sad yet awesome.
It's kind of, you're right. It's one part sadness, one part awesome, amusing. I might give him a little bit of money.
And it just goes to show you get the best attorney you can find.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
Oh yeah, I got a buddy that's going through a divorce.
Oh, geez.
It's killing him.
Yeah, that's tough. Like, what stage is he? Early?
It's kind of early, yeah. I would say it's at the point where they're getting ready to start going to court kind of shit.
So they actually have to go to court.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's it's going to be
because you try to go to mediation first.
I don't think it's working for mediation. So that means... Did you have to go to mediation?
Yes, absolutely.
Do they make you do mediation for divorce?
Most times, yes. The judges want you to do mediation and see if you can hammer it out.
And if you can't...
It's better for you. It's better for everybody. It's better for the legal system. You pay way less in attorney's fees. And all that it is each side has to be willing to give up something and compromise.
Is there an air of dickiness in there from the people running it?
So your lawyer's there and your ex's lawyer is there, and then you have a person who is like a non-biased party. They are the mediator. They're the one that's supposed to hash it out and get everybody to try to get on the same page. And you give a little, and they give a little, and we all come to terms somewhere in the middle.
And you felt like they did that?
And there's a court reporter. Well, no. I mean, my mediation was fucked. I was mediating with an unemployed person. So, yeah, have fun with that when you financially mediate with someone who's unemployed and imputing a very low salary.
I did not mean to.
Yeah, struck a
but-
chord there.
But I will say this, mediation is better than going to court because at least you figure out your own fate. You and your ex, you work it out and you agree to the terms and you maybe have to give a little more than you thought you were gonna. But if you go before a judge, the judge decides. And that's where it's just a big risk for both parties, especially for somebody who makes a lot more money than the other one.
I had another guy that I know. He was divorced and there was kids involved, and he had to pay. So she ended up taking him to the cleaners. But what ended up happening was she ended up falling in love and marrying someone else, and something. I forget all the details, but when she married the other guy.
When you get married to a new guy, alimony stops.
Yeah, alimony
Because he
stopped.
doesn't have to pay you alimony anymore if you have a new husband. That new husband, by law,
Right.
is now in charge of taking care of your finances and whatever.
He couldn't believe, because he really got kicked right in the dick. And
Well, any woman who gets alimony every month and then goes out and marries some new guy is a dumbass.
And he couldn't believe it happened, and he bought the biggest bottle of champagne.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I can't believe it happened either, but it happens all the time. If I was getting alimony from a dude, I would never get remarried.
Right.
I would just live with dudes.
Love, dude. It makes people do stupid
I
shit.
would never get remarried. Alimony is like a free check.
I know.
Oh, I don't want a free check.
Well, let me tell you, I saw this son of a bitch for about 3 years when he had to write that check, and when he didn't have to write that check, he went back 10 years in his face. He did.
And he didn't get Botox.
No, it was all just.
Yeah. His ex is dumb. Whoever she is.
That is pretty unreal.
Don't do that. I know you believe in love and you want to have a new marriage and a new man, and no.
Because he really thought that was his fate forever. That's why that's why he bought the champagne. He goes, I could not believe it happened.
Dude got so lucky.
He did.
People talking about things going on this weekend. The paranormal circus that is happening by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Yeah, what the hell is a paranormal circus?
Somebody texted and said it's like a horror show circus. I went about 4 years ago.
Oh, that sounds like just your bag, Bird.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. And the Reptile Show is also going on at the Expo Center at the South Florida Fairgrounds.
No thanks.
Also kind of sounds like my cut.
Somebody was talking about all the renegade signs they have up all over South Florida. Somebody said we had to drive to Naples last week, and we saw the signs in the middle of the state. I was seeing them everywhere. They were in the most renegade places. They would be like fences off the side of the road.
They're on fences.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
They must be getting paid like $5 per renegade sign.
Every sign you put up.
Well, whoever's hanging those signs, can you get in touch with us? We want you to come work for KVJ because you work hard.
Yeah, the
KVJ
promotion.
Renegade signs?
Yeah.
There's this one. I was going to ask, could you get in a lot of trouble for this? And the only reason why I ask is because every day when I drive home, there's this overpass on I-95, and it's got this fence. And I've seen people take cups, plastic cups, red Solo cups.
Jesus loves you.
Jesus loves
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
If you could easily do KVJ or put our website up there. But my fear is you go up there, you do that, someone looks. Oops.
You turned yourself off.
Somebody looks at that, gets into an accident, and you're a renegade, and then they sue you because you distracted traffic.
Yeah, I think if you have a corporation like we do, like you work for Hubbard Broadcasting, which is a big, big company, they will sue KVJ and
You would
Hubbard.
get so many eyeballs on that thing.
You would, but
But if that's the case, what if I got into an accident on I-95 and I look up and I see a billboard and it's got McDonald's? I'm like, oh, McDonald's put up a billboard and I was looking at it and it made me crash. I'm going to sue McDonald's for the billboard. It distracted me.
And you have a great point, but I think the only difference is that sign is sanctioned and then what I'm doing is Renegade.
Right. And Renegade, you haven't got the proper permits. You've broken the law by putting your KVJ stuff up, and therefore you can be sued more.
Really?
Yeah,
Is that a question at the end of that, Virginia? You started talking more. I'm like, where's she getting this info from?
Objection, Your Honor.
Yeah.
My client is very dumb.
I felt good going in, not so good coming out.
The landing was rough.
I was like, okay, wait, what?
There's got to be some kind of statute.
My favorite part of the show is Virginia Facts.
Oh, I don't know if I stand by that one.
There's got to be some sort of statute.
There's got to be a
Look it up.
statute.
Yeah, I don't know. Because we'd had that. We were just throwing out some of those little mind bombs, and somebody had said that they discourage you so much on texting and driving and reading those messages, but yet, they then put all these signs and things up for you to read. Even the state will do that. They'll put up those things for you to read on those signs now.
Someone's getting money, and it's not us, and that's why they're going to do that. Because you're right, it is distracting.
Have you ever seen a Rachel's or Monroe's billboard?
Every morning when I'm driving to work, there's always titties up there.
Right.
They're tasty.
You don't think I'm looking at them titties?
I know you are.
Come on, of course I'm looking at the titties. They're right there.
Just don't hit that car in front of you.
I know, it's real dark on 95.
So if he was looking at them titties and he hit the car in front of him, there's got to be a statute that says he can't sue Monroe's or Rachel's.
There's some lawyer out there that I will take this case. We're going to get him. We're going to take him to the cleaner.
I assume it's because there's been so many billboards for so long, and people have thought of every angle to sue anybody ever.
It's his titty statute.
I just can't imagine that they would have something up there, or they would take all the billboards down if you lost that case in a heartbeat. And I think to your point with putting the cups up on the fence, I think that would be protected under the same thing.
I don't know that for a fact. The one thing I do know for a fact is I'm eventually going to get into an accident looking at them titties. Well, they're giant titties.
They are.
Well, they're billboard tits.
There's one where she's like, she's laying back and doing this back arch thing.
There was one. It's not around now. It was from a few years back. I forget what club it was, but there was a little being shown. There was a little
pussy.
Just the way it wasn't full on, poon, but she was bent in a way where you saw some CT and it was very pronounced.
CT?
Camel toe.
Oh. I thought you were abbreviating clit.
No, but you know what? That was around there too.
Is that the abbreviation for it?
I think so.
It is,
It's CT period.
I thought that was Connecticut.
Boy, don't get those confused.
Connecticut.
Connecticut. If your clit's in the shape of the state.
I love Connecticut.
We need to make that shirt. I think that would sell.
Oh my gosh, that'd be a huge seller.
Because how many people would read it and just not even look away or not thinking of it? Say, oh, it's Connecticut. Should I be? Wait, is that Connecticut? Yeah. All right, let me see here. Got another announcement. Maruko sent an email and said, my Feel Good Friday win for the week. Treasure Coast High School girls soccer team are district champs after beating Jupiter High on Tuesday. They won in penalty kicks in overtime. First time in school history winning districts. Congrats. Great win for Port St. Lucie. On to the regionals on Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you go. Congratulations for that. All right, time to head to the weekend, y'all.
Woohoo! If you're looking to get a little libation in your belly this weekend, have some fun like KVJ does. Grab some Atoll vodka. I gotta tell you, over the last weekend, I mixed the Atoll vodka with lemonade and then a little 0-calorie spritzer.
Okay.
Oh, it was so
Way to do it.
delicious.
All right.
Pick up some Atoll for yourself. You can have it delivered right to your home. mashandgrape.com.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.